Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together, we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys?
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it. Husband!
Wife!
Do you remember where the hell we are?
We just started a new book.
We did.
And it was the book of Isaiah, I believe.
It was Isaiah.
Yeah.
Good on you.
And we're back to some old shit that we've been doing with regard to this is the real Old Testament.
Yeah, it's back to 2 Kings and Chronicles.
Yeah.
All them
it
Kings
feels
and
very
Chronicles.
like we've done this before.
Because we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only this time it's Isaiah.
Right. And he's a prophet.
Yeah. So yesterday we went over Isaiah chapter 1.
We did.
That means that today we're going to be going over
Isaiah chapter 2.
You ready to do this?
Okie dokie.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're hopping into Isaiah chapter 2.
We sure the fuck are.
Damn. Coming at me so strong.
I know, right?
So yesterday I mentioned that I had accidentally deleted part of my notes about who Isaiah is the son of.
Yeah.
And I found it. So it's still relevant. So I thought I would be like, hey, let me tell you about that real quick.
Okay.
So he is the son of Amoz, not Amos the prophet. Okay. Jewish tradition has a note that Amoz, the father of Isaiah, was the brother of Amaziah, king of Judah.
Okay.
So that's what makes Isaiah of royal family.
I see.
Remember I had said that, but I couldn't remember the
exactly
king.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's that king.
Okay.
Amaziah.
Got it.
Okay.
Yep.
So now we know.
Now we know.
Okay.
Yep.
Everybody's on the same page now.
I think so.
Y'all get to know what I know now. It ain't much. All right. Chapter 2. Here we go.
All right.
This is what Isaiah, son of Amoz, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. :
Okay.
In the last days, the mountains of the Lord's temple will be established as the highest of the mountains. It will be exalted above the hills, and all nations will stream to it. So this is an oracle. This is a prophecy.
See.
Okay.
Yeah.
Many peoples will come and say, "Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the temple of the God of Jacob. He will teach us his ways so that we may walk in his paths. Come, Charlie, Candy Mountain."
Is that what people say?
I
That way
added,
they're yeah, no, I mean,
I added the Charlie.
right, the
and
Charlie Mountain, yeah.
Candy
That's
Mountain.
Candy Mountain.
Yeah.
No, I got that. But
Okay.
do people really I don't think people go say that stuff.
Well, I mean, they do kind of. They do say that. Everybody does kind of flock to that area.
If you're
of the
Jewish
world.
or Christian or
Yeah.
right.
Or Muslim.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They're all like, we need to go over there and walk where God walked.
Yeah.
They
all
do.
right.
I mean.
Because all right. Because their book says so. But
right. Yeah. I mean, which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Right.
It doesn't matter. They said it would happen, and
it
it's
happens.
happening.
Right.
Now, the fact that it's happening because they said it would happen,
It's a whole other story.
Yeah.
Right.
The law will go out from Zion, the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. He will judge between the nations and will settle disputes for many peoples.
Boy, we could really use that right now.
Mm-hmm.
We need somebody to judge between the nations and settle some disputes.
That would be really cool, actually. Actually, I'm going to interrupt our reading here for a second.
Oh.
And comment on the news, because it was pointed out today, and I can't believe that I didn't recognize the dissonance until it was pointed out between the two wars that are happening. In one, America is defending the people who are being invaded, the Ukrainians.
Yeah.
And in the other, they are defending the people who are doing the invading,
Right.
which is Israel.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really put that together in my head.
Right.
Until it was pointed out, at the same time, that how do we embrace both of those at the same time? And then somebody pointed out, well, I mean, one involves, brown-skinned people, and the other involves European white, and one involves oil and what's best for America's interests and religion, and the other is just like whatever.
Right.
So,
well, and they've couched this as a response to Hamas invading and attacking Israel
out of the blue.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean and that did happen. That's
Well, it didn't happen out of the blue, but it did happen.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I thought it was interesting, and I had not put the two wars side by side like that to see that we are embracing different ends of the spectrum on each.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it.
Right.
All right. So the law will go out from Zion, the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. He will judge between the nations and will settle disputes for many peoples. And that would be good. They will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. And that means they'll put their weapons aside.
In place of
they'll become
working the land and stuff.
Well, they'll become worthless farm equipment.
Got it. Because God will make it happen.
Tools of war.
He's awesome and
God is great. And God is good.
Can make knives into plows.
Well,
apparently.
It's not that they turn into plows.
I know.
Okay. I'm just making sure you know that, like, it's not like he puts a magic spell on.
No, he's getting them to stop fighting.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Nation will not take up sword against nation, nor will they train for war anymore.
That would be so nice.
Aww. He's cute. Isaiah's cute.
Right.
I think he's adorable.
That would be
it's like he's a Care Bear. I think Isaiah's cute. I'm gonna name my Care Bear Isaiah. Aren't you gonna ask me? Wait, you have a Care Bear?
Oh yeah, do you have a Care Bear?
I do actually. It was one of the special release white ones.
Wasn't that our kids?
No, that was mine.
Oh, okay.
It was mine.
Got it.
It came out before I was with you even.
Oh, okay.
So,
do you have a name for it already?
No, I don't.
Oh.
It was just my special, like, it was like the millennial edition or something, like millennium edition. I don't know.
Okay.
But it was a very special, because Care Bears are not like without color.
Right.
So the fact that it was a white one was a big deal.
Yeah.
And so his name is Isaiah now.
Okay. All right. Yep.
Come, descendants of Jacob, let us walk in the light of the Lord. You, Lord, have abandoned your people, the descendants of Jacob. Whoa, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, right? I thought he was just fixing wars and shit. What's going on here?
I don't know. They are full of superstitions from the east. Oh, okay. So he's talking about the people now, not the future. He's back to like now instead of prophecy.
Got it. Okay.
He's like saying that they practice all of religion that has flowed in. You know, they're doing that thing where they're not worshiping all the correct God. Yeah. Yeah. Which they seem to always do. Right. So. Exactly. They're doing idol worship and all kinds of religions. It's the one recurring theme that's happened throughout the Bible so far. They stop worshiping just God and worship all the other gods with God. But you know, so. Sure. I mean, I call it more like hedging your bets. Yeah. You know? Yeah. I'm like, if there's gods, you might as well, you know, they're using Pascal's wager. They're like, well, there's gods, so I don't know which one's correct, so I'm just gonna like, you know, worship them all, and then maybe one of them will like what I'm doing. Look, this is the one that my mom is like really nuts about, but look, my wife's cousin is from like over the way, and she swears by this one. And, you know, I'm gonna go. Oh, you're talking about Israelites that are Okay. I thought you were talking about your wife's cousin. Like no. I'm like, not that you have a wife, but I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm pretending like I'm this person, you know? I'm this person, and I'm like, my mom brought me up in this religion and blah, blah, blah. And this God sound, you know, this is what I know. But, you know, I married this woman, and her cousin from over the way, you know, she swears by this other God. And how are you supposed to know? There's no fucking proof. Right. So, I mean, whatever. Yeah. Now, I read a thing in my notes. I'm not going to call this guy out, but he said, this totally is not anti-immigration. And I'm like, oh no, it is. Right. It is. Yeah. Bro. Yeah, that was one of the first things I said in the last chapter. It sounds very right-wing, you know, like their talking points with regard to immigration was one of the reasons. What the dude said was, Well, he doesn't have a problem with other people practicing their faiths, just don't bring them over here. And he doesn't want his people practicing them. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah. So he doesn't want them coming over here and mixing.
Right.
He doesn't like that immigration.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that is anti-immigration.
Exactly what that is.
You could say it's not, but that doesn't make it not.
Right.
Okay, they are full of superstitions from the East. They practice divination like the Philistines and embrace pagan customs. Oh, not pagan customs. God's sakes.
It's horrible.
Their land is full of silver and gold.
Wow. I might go join them, silver
nifty,
and gold.
Right?
Yeah.
There is no end to their treasures.
Huh.
I'm going east.
Yeah, right?
I'm going east,
I'm
bro.
definitely going east.
Their land is full of horses. There is no end to their chariots.
Why are they getting treated so well over there in that godless land?
Huh.
That's weird.
I don't know.
Why are we suffering?
Their God
these people have endless gold and silver and horses and shit.
Their God sounds kind of nifty.
Right?
Honestly.
Yeah.
But their land is full of idols. They bow down to the work of their hands, to what their fingers have made. So people will be brought low and everyone humbled. Do not forgive them.
Why?
What?
They seem to be doing pretty fucking well.
Right? Like, look at those successful fucks. What? Go into the rocks, hide in the ground from the fearful presence of the Lord and the splendor of his majesty. The eyes of the arrogant will be humbled and human pride brought low. The Lord alone will be exalted in that day. The Lord Almighty has a day in store for all the proud and lofty, for all that is exalted.
I'm fucked.
And they will be humbled. Husband will never be humbled. You lie. For all the cedars of Lebanon, tall and lofty, and all the oaks of Bashan, for all the towering mountains and all the high hills, for every lofty tower and every fortified wall, for every trading ship and every stately vessel.
Okay.
The arrogance of man will be brought low and human pride humbled.
Okay.
I feel like I should be standing behind a lectern.
Yeah.
Like pounding on the podium with my fist and like, raise a ruckus.
I think we've talked about this before, but I don't really there is such a thing as having too much pride and too much arrogance.
Yeah.
But you should have some. It's healthy to have some.
Yeah. Find a nice balance between arrogant and just proud of what you've done and who you are.
Right. I mean, I'm very proud of things we've done, and I'm very arrogant about who I am. But I also am humbled by other people. So, I mean, you have to allow yourself to walk both of those paths, I think.
I would say that you walk with pride, you slide into arrogance, but you are very easily awed and humbled.
Yes. Yeah.
But, yeah, you're not short on pride.
No, I am not.
You definitely lean toward the arrogant side of the mix.
I do, but I'm more of a listener than I am a boaster, so...
except for just then.
Yes. Except for just then. But generally speaking, yeah.
No, yeah. You're good. I'll keep you.
Right.
I like you. You'll do. All right. The arrogance of man will be brought low and human pride humbled. The Lord alone will be exalted in that day, and the idols will totally disappear.
Oh, damn. Man, that's a lot of power.
They'll totally disappear.
I bet those people over in the East that don't have anything to do with this God are going to be like, what the fuck? What happened?
They disappeared.
Just
like on Left Behind.
Weird.
They got raptured.
It's like an idol rapture.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
It's like a rapture or something.
Right, yeah.
People, that reminds me. On the Daily Zeitgeist today, or no, it was a couple days ago, but I just heard it today.
Yeah.
They were talking about these videos that are out that are such low grade videos.
Oh, I think I showed you some of them. The one with that girl getting pushed on the swing. And
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but I didn't realize that's an actual thing now.
Yeah.
They're trying to show you what the rapture is going to be like. Don't be on the wrong end of it, you guys.
And they're so bad.
They're so bad. But they're so proud of their little cute work.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, you're not supposed to be proud of what your hands have made. But they are. They're so proud of it. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. And they're really bad.
You're just as cute as Isaiah because you can't. I mean, here's the thing. I can't either. But you know who's not making videos? Wife. That's who, because I know I can't. Okay. People will flee to caves in the rocks and to holes in the ground from the fearful presence of the Lord and the splendor of his majesty. when he rises to shake the earth. In that day, people will throw away to the moles and bats their idols of silver and idols of gold, which they made to worship. Oh, so they're not going to outright disappear. The people are going to throw them to the bats.
I might. Just let me know when you plan on throwing those away. I'll be right there.
Yeah. It's kind of like the same lines as, y'all ought to be nice to us because we're the ones that are going to take care of your pets when you get all raptured and whatever. Right. They will flee to caverns in the rocks and to the overhanging crags from the fearful presence of the Lord and the splendor of his majesty when he rises to shake the earth. Stop trusting in mere humans who have but a breath in their nostrils. Why hold them in esteem? ? The end.
Yeah, I don't know. But you know what worries me about that, though? Is that they're talking about this God that's going to rise up in, like, this great, like, light. This great light, right? And, like, it's going to be shaking the earth. So, like, all I'm thinking here is, like, the end of the world is going to be coming. Like, a fucking giant asteroid is going to be coming. And the earth's going to be shaking because of the gravity from this fucking thing or whatever. And then all these people are just going to be standing outside waiting for God. Right. And I'm going to be like, no, you fucking idiots. Like, we're all going to die.
Like, in that movie, oh shit. What was the one? It wasn't Armageddon. It was the other one that came out at the same time as Armageddon.
Deep Impact?
Yes, Deep Impact. When the meteor was coming, the people, like, stood on the roof of the house or whatever, and they were like, welcome the comet or whatever.
I mean, there's not much else you can do, but I don't know if I could stomach people saying that it was God as I'm out there waiting to die. You know, like, could you shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm about ready to die. Yeah, no, this is not cool.
I'm excited about it.
This is not okay.
They're like, God is here. And I'm like, that's bad. That's a bad plan. Like, anytime a god or a creature that says it's a god comes, it's never good.
Right.
And the people that are believers are always the first to get squashed.
You're basing this on how many gods you've seen?
In movies. In the movies and in literature.
Okay.
Like, it's never a good thing.
Got it.
The true believers are always the first to get, like, their blood goes everywhere. They get exploded.
Right.
They do not get raptured.
No, they don't.
They get popped like grapes.
Yes, that is true.
All right. So that was it for the chapter. Now I'm going to get into my notes a little bit.
Okay.
I don't have a lot like I did yesterday.
Okay.
Okay. So Isaiah chapter 2 is about hope and fear. Okay.
Yeah.
Verses 1-4 were the mountain of the Lord's house and the Lord's universal reign of peace. And this part is the beginning of an oracle with the basic theme of the glorious future of Jerusalem. So that's where I told you that he was, like, speaking prophecy, saying this is what's gonna happen.
Right.
Okay. Then in verses 5-22, which is the rest of the chapter, that one is the day of the Lord and the Lord's judgment on the proud. And this section brings together two basic themes in the book of Isaiah, which is the vanity of human self-confidence and the folly of worshiping false gods.
Got it.
Okay, so those are going to be important ideas that we will come across in future chapters.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
One other thing that I thought was important to mention, verse 22, that's the final one. Stop trusting in mere humans who have but a breath in their nostrils. Why hold them in esteem? That verse is not present in the Septuagint.
Oh.
Which, if you'll recall, is the Greek translation.
Yeah.
It could be a later insertion in Isaiah's prophecy, but it's not in the early Greek translation.
Got it. Okay.
Which I find interesting.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, so then it's not real.
Right.
It's not part of the Bible if you ask me.
Well, there's a lot of,
what the fuck do I know?
Yeah, but there's a lot of things, like, you could pretty much say that about the entire Bible. The whole Bible is brought together by multiple different texts and writers and...
But that's the first time thus far that I've come across one that said, FYI, this particular verse was specifically added later. This was not part of the original text.
Right.
So, I mean, we know that there are various chapters, various books, various scrolls, various pieces of writings that some were and some weren't included, right?
Sure, yeah.
This is a case where we have a text, but a verse was added later.
Got it.
That's weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so get it out of there. It doesn't go there.
Right.
All right, so that is it for chapter 2.
All right, so that was Isaiah chapter 2.
Sure as fuck was.
And that means we will be back tomorrow with
Isaiah chapter 3.
We'll see you guys then.
Bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.